Welcome everyone to today's webinar. We're going to be talking about IBM Z modernization. I am so excited that all of you were able to join. My name is Hannah Knox. I'm a product marketing manager here in the IBI business unit at Cloud Software Group. I work primarily with Web Focus and Focus and now Open Data Hub for mainframe. So I get to work with all of these lovely people and it's a great time. I also get to work with Shay Creech, who's fantastic, and I know you guys are used to having on these calls. So I'm excited that I get to talk to you guys today. Before we jump into our modernization solution, I wanted to give you guys a few updates as to what's new at IBI. We have version 2 of IBI.com coming out very, very soon. We're so excited to release this to you. It is sleek, it is modern, it is absolutely beautiful, and has access to the tools that you need, demos, data sheets, all of that there, access out to the community. And on the topic of community, we actually have a brand new community that's going to be launching specifically for you IBIers in 2024. So very exciting news there. You'll have links out to your legacy community tools as well, but this will all be new information. Also in 2024, we have a roadshow series. This is going to be like a mini summit coming to a town near you. Get excited, put it on your calendar as soon as you get the invite. We're so looking forward to getting back in your city and hearing what you are excited about in our tools, as well as sharing the latest and greatest there. You may be seeing us on the news. We were recently featured in Bloomberg for our newest product release, Open Data Hub for mainframe. Very exciting. As always, we are active on LinkedIn and X, formerly Twitter. If you haven't already followed us on either of those, please go ahead and give us a follow. We are regularly posting updates in terms of events, data sheets, demo videos, and it's a great place for you to connect with your peers and with us as well. So anyhow, that covers what's new with us. I do want to go over a couple of housekeeping things before we jump into to the presentation. Our chat is currently closed, but the way that you can ask us questions is through the Q&A tool. So please utilize that with any questions that you have. We'll be going through some exciting updates regarding Focus Fridays for 2024 and IBM Z education, as well as our solution to your IBM Z modernization question. And then we have a special solutions demo coming up too. After that, we will go through your questions. So with that, Walter, I'm going to hand it over to you.
Sure. All right. Well, good morning, everybody. I'm glad to see everybody's here. We always like to see you. I see some of you on Focus Fridays, and if the ones I don't see on Focus Fridays, I'm going to shame you, and you need to join us on Focus Fridays. And the next one's coming up, as I pointed out earlier, and my shameless plug is coming up next Friday, not this Friday, next Friday. And we do those every third Friday in the month for this year. Next year it'll probably be a little different. But we're there for an hour and a half, and we like to spend a lot of time talking about the focus language, which is the primary function of that. We've been running this basically because Focus and Web Focus basically are all built on the focus language. And there's an enormous amount of functionality that is in that language, and the more you know about it, the more you can use. And that's actually the function of Focus Fridays, is to make sure that the language is spread. Now, we do have something coming up, which is really kind of interesting. The language is one aspect of dealing with focus. There's another aspect of it, especially on the IBM platform, which has been around for quite a while. Actually, this product started on the IBM platform. It's been around for over 45 years now. We have a lot of people who have gone into the focus world and retired out of the focus world. And I know there are a lot of people that are at a lot of applications that are still running out there. We know that because we have to support them. That's my world right now is very heavily involved in the support of those applications. So there's one thing that we see that is you could use, and I think that we're going to provide for you coming up starting at the end of this year. And that is basically some virtual user group based around the administration of Focus and Focus applications on the IBM Z platform. And we'll be dealing with the nuts and bolts, the how-tos, things like caring for Focus files, thinking of things about setting up and managing your temp files and your work files, managing your Focus users from the point of view of Focus, not just the system, not just RACF and ACF2 and top secret, but also the security that's involved in Focus. We'll talk about and help you with running Focus in JCL through ISPF or CList or REX, all of these kinds of things, and specifically helping you with things like problems when you run into issues. How do you deal with them? When you hit focus errors, what do you do? If you don't have somebody around that knows exactly what's going on, how do you deal with it? We'll go through a lot of tools that you can use for debugging, how to tune Focus, and this is probably one of the most important things, is how to make your code run better on your system. In the IBM world, making your code run better is going to save you money, and that is a big one. We've been very good about making sure that we tie Focus and Web Focus into the hardware and into the operating system very tightly. Obviously, we have coverage for zip. The zip processor is used by Focus and Web Focus. We've recently brought in the decimal precision that has been built into the operating system from the hardware point of view, and also the pervasive encryption. And we're looking forward to some of the accelerators that are now available on the platform. So this is what we're doing. We'll be running a virtual user group to cover these kinds of things. You'll see an announcement about this in a week or two. So we want to tell you about it. We want you to join us. Let us know what you're really interested in, and we'll provide it for you. And that's, I think, what I've got for today. So I will now turn it back over to Greg. Greg?
That was great, Walter. Thank you so much. Greg, do you want to introduce yourself? And I think you are on mute. Unfortunately, the Zoom problem that keeps being a problem for everyone.
Yeah, I'm trying to multitask. I apologize.
No worries.
I'm Greg Weinheimer. I'm the product manager for Open Data Hub for the mainframe. And let's see, what is Open Data Hub for the mainframe? I'll give a 1 minute spiel if that's okay, Hannah. And so Open Data Hub for the mainframe. It gives us access, or gives you access to your data that's sitting on your IBM Z platform from whatever virtualization tools you guys want to use, wherever they're sitting. So we use our ODBC and JDBC connectors that were created for this product, and it leverages the security packages of the Z platform. Another thing about Data Hub is that it goes directly after your data on the platform. There's no staging. It's real-time data. It also gives you the ability, if you're a Focus or Web Focus shop, to leverage any artifacts that you've created in the past, any metadata, any procedures. You can leverage those from a third-party tool not sitting on the mainframe. Really, the next slide, if you want. Unless you want to talk about this one, Han.
Yeah, no, I want to touch on this one real quickly because I think the question that many of us may have is why? Like, why do we need Open Data Hub for mainframe? And this really came out of a lot of conversation with customers and other IBM Z users that we talked to, and they're making really critical decisions based off of this mainframe data. Mainframes have been around for as long as many of us have been alive, many of our modern users. And this data that's on those mainframes, it's important data. It's data about all of us, about the way that our world works. And a lot of the data that we're used to using in the cloud originates on the mainframe. And the issue that we run into now, or on the IBM Z platform, and the issue that we run into now is how do we get access to that data in a way where it's not old by the time we get it. And one of the traditional ways of dealing with IBM Z data is you go through an ETL process. You take that data from the IBM Z platform, you move it into a data warehouse, and then you pull it into your cloud visual analytics tool, like WebFocus or Tableau or Click or Power BI or Spotfire, any of those. But by the time you're dealing with that data is already old. And for all of you who are dealing in critical industries, you don't have that luxury of making decisions off of old data. So we saw this issue and we wanted to present you all with a solution to that issue. And this product gives you instant access to your data. So again, instant. This is not something where it's a ETL, but a rapid ETL. No, this is literally instant access to your IBM Z data. So from my perspective, this is going to be absolutely revolutionary for your industry, for all of our industries, and provide you with that critical data that you need to make your critical decisions. With that, let's jump into the next slide. Again, I do want to highlight, though, before we jump into the next slide, that this does allow you to then leverage AI and data science capabilities to your entire mainframe data set. And then, Greg, is there anything you'd like to touch on here with that?
I think I already touched on it a little bit, but I think these are two like really important points, and that is the fact that we get to the data real time without migrating it. It is not stale, like you said earlier, and the fact that we leverage the existing security packages on the mainframe, like RACF, ACF2, top secret, whatever.
Right.
And I think that's it.
It's huge for data access, right, Greg? Because this allows people who may be from my generation and don't necessarily have a skill set to work on an IBM Z, but they're looking to expand that skill set. Then they're able to get first access, and then they can build those skills to actually start working with the IBM Z platform. Because again, it's a critical component of data and analytics in our, current day. And you aren't compromising any of those benefits from the IBM Z platform. You're able to do both. So it's really a best way forward, a best path forward for modernization, and allowing you to work with all of that. And then this is a screenshot of the tool in action. And with that, I'm going to pass this on to Mark. Mark, are you ready to give an awesome solutions demo?
I'm ready. I'm excited. It took me like 10 minutes to get into this thing.
Okay, that's okay.
All right, let me share my screen.
Okay, let me move out of screen share, and then you can take it away.
Let me share my screen here. Let me know when everybody can see me.
Right now, I can see you're open the Zoom meeting.
Right. Everybody can see?
I can see it. This is great.
Yes.
Thank you.
Terrific. Hallelujah. Hi, guys. Hello, everybody out there. Probably I know a lot of people out there, and today it's my pleasure to present to you on the IBI Open Data Hub for mainframe. Just to show everybody here, I'm running on the mainframe. My CPU is at 100%. So most people that have mainframe are familiar with that. I'm running a batch job MKT MJN 9 that has all the access to the server that we're going to be accessing from the tools that I have available. I also want to show the console. Let me minimize this on the mainframe. Over here, where am I? I think I'm over here. Let me try to move some of this out of the way. And let me move this. And everybody can see. I can go here, and I have all my agents sitting there ready and running, looking to connect. If we take a look to the left side there, notice what I did. I created multiple services. So customers that have using Tableau or Power BI or even Squirrel or JasperSoft or Cognos has the ability to get in and track the service. Why do I care about that? Because you're using WebFocus today, which is great. And now you might want to have another visualization tool connect to the server to get data, right? So I wanted to show the services there. I am now going to go here let me bring this down and go to Power BI. So the first one I have here is I'm using a student golden record, and that student golden record is a flat file, a direct file, just so you see. And this was built with Power BI, and I can go in here and slice and dice any of the data, right? I could say over here, do this, just female. I can go here, shows me male. And what this is doing, if people understand Power BI, there's two modes for it. You can bring all the data back and leverage Power BI's like caching, or you can get it live, right, automatically every time you run a request. So a number of people that I've been speaking to already wanted both modes. They wanted direct query and to query and to bring it all down, right? The direct query allows you instant access of the data that's in flux. So you can see this nice little dashboard built over here. I can go over here and just show me who's in Texas. Voila, I can show you what we got going on, right? Just bring this up a little bit. I can go back, click off of it. And these visualizations are running from retrieving the data from the mainframe. Okay. I am now going to go in and show you a second subsequent one that I did. And we can go over here and we can say, just click on mail. And this is data that I brought down already from the mainframe. So I can click on here and voila, it fixes everything, puts it back, 1, 2, 3. And to be able to get all this data from the mainframe live. The other one I have here is a direct query. If you notice the bottom of my screen, it says direct query. And what it's going to do is when we go get data, it's going to connect to the mainframe every time. It's not going to bring all the data down to the PC, but say, hey, I want to get this data here for Pacific Islander. Notice that it's running the query live in the little bit of icons over here. So it's going up to the mainframe, getting data, and going to bring it down. So give it a second. Remember, my mainframe was running at 100% that I showed you. So we can go back, we can click on it, click off it, and get everything we want to get. The other way I want to go in and show you what we can do is how do we access this? So we go over here to Power BI. And again, this is using an ODBC connector. Maybe I should show that for a minute. So for ODBC, right, we go in and you can see I have a plethora of them. And we're going to the IBM Z one. And it looks over here, who am I connecting as, what port I'm going to. I'm going directly to the TCP listener port of the server on the mainframe. And I put a user ID PTH admin. And you can test it from here. Connection successful. And that's the connection I'm going to be using when I go here and show you when I get data. So let's go get data. Let's show you what it really looks like. And we'll say ODBC. And there's two modes I will show you today. We'll go here and we're going to pick the IBM Z. We're going to say OK. It's going to give you a list of folder structures that you're used to in Web Focus. So I'm connecting up to the mainframe now. It's running a couple calls behind the scene. And it's going to give us a list of all the folders that I have available on the mainframe to build reports. Look familiar, guys? So we'll go to IBI SAMP, and I'll pull the car data down. Right away, it previews, right, the data, and then I'm going to say load it. Oh, I already had one out there, so it's actually going to do a join to it. I'll change it so it goes against the one. Excuse me. It's evaluating, and this is how Power BI works. It goes through, it evaluates, runs a number of calls, brings everything down. So bear with me for a second. And everybody's familiar with the car data or the retail samples that we provide. And I can go to the mainframe to show you exactly what this is doing while we're running this. Let me go up to the mainframe. Let me refresh this. And you can see that it's going in, and we can see what it's running here. Hold on, let me bring this up. Let me refresh this. And of course, on a live demo, you always get something that you're looking for and something's not right, but it'll actually show you the SQL that was sent to the server. Very important. We go back here. We now have car data. We have 2 of them. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to say, let's delete this from the model. And we're going to say yes. And then we could go over here and say, all right, give me car. There's car coming right back from the mainframe. Country, model. Let's do dealer cost, retail cost. And you could see how quick it is, like lightning. I could go over here and say, all right, let me give this one of these. And voila, we get all the visualizations, whatever we want, leveraging the mainframe power, the fastest CPU. We're also leveraging the specialty engines that most of you have out there, the zip and the zap. So the code was changed to work with those specialty engines to alleviate the work off the general purpose CP and put them on those specialty engines. So we can go back here. Let me change one of these, take it out, go over here, say, give me a pie chart, and voila, you've got all the magic of the mainframe leveraging these different tools. So I wanted to show Power BI, right? I have also Spotfire, if anybody wanted to see that. And this is what it's all about, guys. The ability to go in and leverage that mainframe data with web focus or other visualization tools your environments are using, but leveraging the strengths of our reporting server on the mainframe. Can we leave it open for some questions now? And then I'll show a couple other things after. Are there any questions here? Hannah, how do we see if there's
right now we actually do not have any question. Oh, here we go. Can we leverage a join in metadata?
Absolutely. You can leverage the joins and metadata that you have on the server already, or you can use Power BI to do them as well. The other things we can leverage here is we can run folk execs that you already have. So one of the magics of this, if you got a folk exec that returns data, you can leverage that folk exec and return data to Power BI. Also, what's occurring here is what Resource Analyzer, another part of the spectacular tool set that we have, we can keep track of all the queries that are running and show who's going against whatever files, DB2, IMS, flat files, VSAM, and the ability to leverage Resource Analyzer as well. Get a load of this as Resource Governor. So if you're using another tool and you want to leverage them not to run a select star against the data, we can prevent that with Resource Governor by building rules and propagating those to whatever tables you want to have and you want to see. So very, very important. You can leverage that as well. Also, we also have that can run against this as well. Usage Monitor that you can build, the dashboards that we have, leverage everything that we have and take advantage of that here on the mainframe as well.
Mark, so, I have another question for you. Actually, I have 2 more questions for you. So the first one is, can I charge back usage to my departments?
Yes, you can charge back usage to your department by either the RACF ID or the RACF group, or by the user ID themselves. So I built a whole new mechanism into Usage Monitor that I built a chargeback piece. I don't have that running right now, but if anybody would like to see that, I'd be more than happy to show you. So you can say, oh, Mark Nesson ran this many IOs against whatever, DB2 or VSAM, and this many CPU seconds. So yes, you can charge that back.
Great, Mark. And then I actually have another question for you.
Sure.
Do we need to be focused or web focus experts to use the product?
Okay, let's talk about that. When you install the reporting server, the Open Data Hub, it gets installed by some systems person. They install it on the server. We leverage all the metadata that you already have in your environment. So we can leverage the metadata, whatever metadata you have DBA, we'll leverage that as well. And then what we do when we go in, we can run any request we want using any tool that you don't have to know any particular specifics about the mainframe. As long as that mainframe's set up, right, with the metadata, you can use any BI tool that you want to leverage that data and bring it back. So wow. The question there is you don't have to know the back end. All you have to know is how to use whether Tableau, Power BI, you name it, Spotfire, and all of that. One of the spectacular things we have on also for Power BI is we wrote that MEZ file, M-E-Z. MEZ file allows you to do a direct query. So normally everything would be brought down to the Power BI client and using their cache. If you want to go live, like I showed in that other example, we will go live against the data and not bring it all down to the desktop. Also tools, you can use Excel, you name it, any tool. You can use Squirrel, DB Visualizer to run reports against the mainframe data. Notice one of the things, guys, there's no web focus client in this picture. It's from the BI tool directly with a little stub directly to the mainframe getting data.
And let's quickly go into a use case for this, Mark, because I think that this is such a powerful tool, but it helps to also have a use case for this. So we know that you guys in your organizations, a lot of you are web focus or focus users with your IBM Z platform, but you have other departments who are also using other tools. And that's so standard. We see that all the time where we have organizations who have multiple tools depending on what department they're in. So this allows those other departments to be able to have that instant access to their IBM Z data. Correct, Mark?
That is correct. And again, it's controlled by RACF security. So if you, or top secret, you know, whichever one of the security packages. So if you don't have access to it, you will not get data back from the mainframe.
Fantastic.
And that would be the systems admin setting that up.
So with this, we have a solution for the modernization question without compromising security, without compromising on speed, without compromising on accuracy. It's instant access that's top level security and accessible to whoever you want to make it accessible to in your organization. So it's platform agnostic.
That is correct.
Wow. That's great. Let's see if we have any other questions.
This is great. And again, you know, if you already have the reporting server, the web focus reporting server on the mainframe, as long as you're at release 9.2, you can leverage this and put it right in today, or if not, bring up another instance of it with the latest release of our software.
That means that we could be utilizing, like as web focus users, we can be utilizing the like NLQ features and putting that back onto the mainframe data sets. So we can be doing natural language query, which is, you know, our version of what a sort of a chat GPT-esque type thing, and using that across the mainframe data set. Correct?
Yes, it's very, very, very powerful.
Very cool.
You know, there's a lot of, you know, customers running on a mainframe like yourselves here and want to keep that going and want that IMS data. Like I said, focus data as well. You can leverage all the focus data. It's a plethora of data out there. And again, it works great with web focus, but again, we're allowing our customers to expand their vastness of our product with other visualization tools that they so have on their environments.
And this is just really one of many things that I feel like we're doing here at IBI to make sure that you have access to the most modern tools and capabilities for your IBM Z platform. So we have, you know, Walter coming in with the Focus Fridays IBM Z education tool and series there, as well as, you know, this fantastic tool and access to all of the capabilities in web focus that you can extend across your IBM Z platform.
Yeah,
Walter,
very critical for the IBM Z platform.
yes, definitely. Mark, is there anything that you want to go into on this?
I'm trying to think what critical. Like I said, we could run stored procedures that you've already developed and run them from this tool, and that'll bring data back. And again, you could have, again, resource analyzers sitting in the back, collecting all the information for whatever users are coming in, and also discreetly connect them to a particular service in that server, like I showed before, whether it's going against Tableau or Power BI or whichever tool you want to use. So you can delineate the connections coming in to a particular service so you can see your whole environment, what you have.
Okay, great. As we're moving towards wrapping things up, I do want to open it up to all of you attendees. If you have questions about a specific use case, feel free to drop those in the Q&A box. If it's not something that we can answer live, that's definitely something that we will answer after the fact and get in touch with you. Or if you have questions about other IBM Z modernization tactics with IBI products, feel free to drop those in the Q&A box as well. We love hearing from you all and what you all are wanting to do with the product.
Hannah, one of the questions I'd like to see if they can raise their hand. How many customers here are using other visualization BI tools other than Web Focus? Can we see that count?
Yeah, if you all don't mind using the raise hand feature, that would be great. And if you're not seeing it, please drop that in the Q&A box. Should be working for all of you. Okay. It looks like so far we have one other attendee who's using a visualization tool. Two. All right, let's keep them coming in. We'll give you guys a couple minutes.
Or if you're not sure what other tools they're using in your environments, right?
Okay, so there are quite a few of you. Great. So if you guys would like to see a demo specifically with that visualization tool, do drop that in the Q&A box. We will get in touch with you. Mark is more than happy to custom demo that's tailored to your particular deployment and environment and question set. So with that, with that, I want to just open the floor to any additional questions. Walter, if there's anything else that you want to touch on with Focus Fridays or IBM Z modernization, or Tony, if there's anything that you want to add, we do have a couple minutes where we can go over any additional bits and pieces that we want to share with our audience.
Just add a couple of points, something that actually Greg, I think, pointed out, and it comes from my expertise, which is basically the language. The language includes the metadata language, which is the synonyms that we use to manage data access, which is what you're actually accessing. You're using the synonyms basically to pull data down from our server using any tool that you want, which is the beauty of this thing. Now, you can go after it just by column names, no problem. That's typically the way you're going to be doing it. You may have some optimization tools that can actually do some joins for you, and it'll be very nice and join SQL tables together. But once you start wandering into the world of joining heterogeneous data types, BSAM files with DB2 tables, we've got the solution here. It's a magnificent solution because it can be built directly into the metadata. Which means the customer your end user doesn't need to know anything about it. You can also build into the metadata define fields. You can have virtual fields at that point. You can build in filters so that the screening that's available to them can be basically controlled at the metadata level. All of this is available to you above and beyond what you would normally be doing in your visualization tool. So the more you know about how we work on the back end, the more effective and the more efficient you're going to be. And so by all means, this is a great tool to get into that data from other tools. And once you start to understand what's actually available to you on our side, you'll see that you can enhance the power of what you're currently doing and speed things up, cut your costs tremendously.
Yeah, absolutely, Walter.
Great. Well, I want to thank all of you today for attending. Thank you, Walter and Greg and Mark and Tony, for joining as panelists. This was great. I really enjoyed hearing more about the product and hearing more about IBM Z modernization in general. Walter, I'm looking forward to your next couple of Focus Fridays. Really looking forward to Seasonal Gems. And I think everyone on the call should be dressing up in their most seasonal apparel for this. I think that would be great.
Yeah, and Hannah, just to add a couple of words before we close,
Yeah.
I'm very, very excited about this, about what we can do for our customers on the mainframe. And anybody that needs anything, you know my email, please let me know. And I will be more than happy to get back to you, discuss things you might want to see, but not want to say it here. So again, please let me know. I'm very excited about this.
Yes. So after this, you guys will receive an email with the recording. And from that point forward, please feel free to reach out again to Mark or to myself or any of us about scheduling a demo, scheduling a meeting to discuss your use case specifically. Again, we're very excited about this product, excited about what it's going to do for you, and excited to help you along on your modernization journey.
Yes.
And with that, we'll give you guys a few minutes back in your day. Thank you again for joining, and we will see you all soon.
Thank you all for attending.
Everyone.
Thanks for attending. Come
Thanks.
see us on Focus Fridays.
Yes, see you guys next week.
Have a great day.